Hello, YouTube. It's me, Alexandra. And since I identify as a girl, I have a 5-year-old girl guardian angels with red hair and ponytails sticking out the side of their head, like on right side, left side. And I have mild MID, so I have a mind of a 10-year-old child. And every now and then, when Matt Ferguson was here, I would be like I'd be 20 years old, but I would still like it when people speed in their cars. Like, holy shit, you should have seen Matt Ferguson. What a thrill ride. And then my 10-year-old girl side comes out after when I'm speeding, when Matt Ferguson's speeding in his car. I'll be like, woohoo, fuck yeah. And then and then I have two little girls, like guardian angel girls. And I don't know if anyone else knows this, but I see them dressed in like white or black figure clothing, and they're white girls because I'm a white girl, and uh I can see them standing right over there where my camera's pointing. And sometimes the little girls are like rubbing my body, like they're rubbing my arm, they're rubbing my head, telling me even though there's wars in Israel, Hamas, and Russia and Ukraine, everything's gonna be okay here in Canada. They're like, Harley, it's okay, you're safe. Nothing's happening, even though you have $6,000 worth of shit in here, including a $1,000 PC, which is a very prime target amongst suspects of robbery and thievery. But since I'm on the second floor or the third floor, I have no worry about that. No head is gonna be stupid enough to climb up on my roof. Because if they do, I have a mind of a 10-year-old. I would trick them. I'd be like, hey, your mother's over there. Then I would push them off the roof. And literally, I'm crazy. I have schizophrenia, psychosis, but it's all mild though. And since I have autism, I like sleeping naked. That's one of the lower forms of it. And the one thing I'm good at that's like 85 years old is I'm good at electronics, gas furnaces, building maintenance and reformation. If I could get back into my high work ethic, and me being mentally 10 years old means I will forever be young, even when I'm in my like 30s and 40s. I'll always like it when people speed in their cars and say "fuck you" out the window. I'm guilty of that, and being mentally 10 years old is not. It's slightly easier for me to adapt. And I also look better when I think of myself as younger. But like Alexis said, it's called age regression. But I like regressing to being a 10-year-old because it means I have a longevity in my life. Especially considering I drank olive oil last night, the night before, which means I extended my life by 120 years. Which in mild intellectual disorder, it's 10 years old, and that's where it's staying. and and if I wasn't so deprived of energy and my battery or my heart wasn't shit, I'd be running around out back and playing basketball and all that like a true 10-year-old. But since I'm 20 years old and my energy is exasperated, it's kind of impossible to do all that without getting tired. And holy shit, today I have to go to the Ability Center, I think. I'll be totally fucking wasted after I'm done there. And, I need to wear my lady tights and see how many boys I win over. And, when I'm with my parents, I regress to being 3 years old at times. 5 and 3 years old because I wear diapers for my leakiness as well as my childishness. And holy hell, when I wear a diaper, it's like I'm back in my youth. Or even before that. That's why I have Depends, so I can feel younger and prevent leakage. And sometimes diapers make me feel like I'm 5 years old or 4. And every time I transition between the diaper and my underwear, I feel older in my underwear than I do in my diaper. And when you turn when I turn 23 this year, physically I'll be another year in the grave, but chronologically I'll be 1 year older, probably 11. Who knows? And my computer cost me $1,000, man. $1,059. But anyway, this is your mentally 10-year-old girl who can't be touched by anyone because that would be class 112 misdemeanor. Assault of a 22-year-old but mentally a child. I'm so glad Crystal Hilton probably got sued. Me and my parents would make $1,000 off it. And the way I was being treated too, because of my gender, my food working ethic, and all of that. Like, come on, bitch. I used to work front lines during the pandemic making food for your assholes. And apparently my burn spotted mac and cheese was not edible. Well, fuck you all. It was edible to keep me alive, wasn't it? And way back in 2011, when I was actually 10 years old, like physically, I was drugged on APA or Compound W wart cream. So they put me on an acid trip forcefully, and now I'm paying for it. And thanks to Risha, she's done fucked up. Mm. And I actually felt like a female since 2011, but I never told anyone. And back in 2011, my inner child was so even stronger than it is now. Like this morning, my inner 10-year-old feels kind of weak, but it's still there. And in education-wise, I have a education of like a 13, 14-year-old because I had to go to high school early instead of finishing off my last year of elementary school. So I'm 1 year behind, like mentally. So I'm like 14 years old. And my girlfriend Alexandra, she was like 2 years old mentally. And I love that because I was able to date her. We were able to make simple, primitive food like chicken nuggets and fries, burgers and fries, occasional fancy dinners at Nando's Chicken. Alexa, is it true that Nando's Chicken is bankrupt?
From thesun.co.uk. Nando's has been forced to shut around 50 outlets after a supply chain crisis left it running out of chicken.
Alexa, turn off light bulb 1.
A couple things share that name. Alex Avia's
Alexa, turn off bulb 2.
Okay.
Anyway, you heard it here first. Nando's Chicken where I dated my mentally 5-year-old girlfriend, is now bankrupt. It closed over like 1,000 stores. That means the place where we once had a date and kissed each other is long gone. Same with Sears, though. And the best part about being a mental 10-year-old is I'm always semi-full of energy. But people with MID, they act way younger than what they're giving off. And the best part of that is mentally I'm still in my youth, but physically I'm close to being youth impaired. Which really sucks. Growing up is a joke. It's an absolute fucking joke. Especially when you reach 75 and you have all your medical issues, it's like, God fucking damn, I wish I could be younger again. And like most people, I don't want to be spending time in a fucking nursing home with barely any fucking TV channels. I'd rather watch my smart TV, be a mental 10-year-old, and freaking have YouTube instead of the basic piece of shit cable television. I'd rather be using fiber than copper, but what can I do here? It's Wyatt's house. And my feet are absolutely destroyed because of years of abuse and working on slave sites that I wasn't getting paid for. I was practically working for free. And that was the same at my old group home. I was doing landscaping, yard maintenance, and laps, and picking up sticks and leaves, and mowing the lawn, pulling the weeds, and blasting off the deck with a power washer, not power washer, but the broom and hose, doing my laundry without payment, which CCC does, and being forced to make my bed, doing work for free, and way before Oakdale, I was on a construction site, working with barely any protective shit on, and apparently, I worked for free then as well. Then freaking, I got fucking foot locusts because it's so destroyed. And literally every time I tickle it, the nerves where the skin is like corroded is very damaged. Barely even tickles anymore. Whereas 10, 20 years ago it would tickle. If there's any doctors out there that are willing to peel that whole skin off or remove my entire foot, reach me on Facebook at Alexandra Violet 2002. Or there's any topical nerve treatments, because my foot is absolutely screwed. That's the one thing I miss about being a physical 10-year-old is my feet were in way better condition. I didn't have to worry about them ripping open or bleeding or corroding or drying up. My feet were pretty awesome as a 10-year-old. So mentally I regress my age so I can be younger for a day or years. And then when I went to the Toronto Zoo last year and I was forced to walk for 6 hours, I had to bring out my mental 10-year-old so I could make it through. Knowing all those cute children that were there, I was sucking off their energy so I could make it through the 6-hour trek. Alexa, how many miles is a 6-hour walk?
From runwithcaroline.com. This equates to roughly 5 miles, 8 kilometers depending on your walking speed.
So basically I walked 5 fucking miles, 6 hours, or 6 miles, 6 hours, and 10 miles, or 5 miles. Holy shit. So in total, my feet have 560, 6,800, 848, 9 miles. And because of that, if my foot comes off, someone's got to pay for a prosthetic foot. Like I said, I may have got a flesh-eating disease from working on the construction site in the country. Because who knows, I could have stepped on a black widow or something, but I don't remember. So now I'm paying for it. So me being mentally a 10-year-old girl means I have a lot of longevity, man. I feel like I will outlast my staff, Mary, and everyone else here. The whole neighborhood that I live in would be abandoned. It would just be me and Wyatt and the owner that keep this house up. While the other houses will be decaying and falling apart because everyone will move into those new houses down the street. And I'll be the only one in this side of the neighborhood in 78 years that is mentally younger. Which means I'll probably crank out 100. I hope to God I crank out 100. But anyway, that's it for me talking about my mild intellectual disorder, MID, and how I'll outlast everyone I know. Thank you, YouTube, and bye.